Hello sweet soul and welcome back to our weekly flow. This is Ina and today we're going to enjoy a total body, playful Vinyasa flow. So whenever you're ready, let's get started. We will begin in a child's pose. So bring your toes together, your knees further apart or closer together, whatever your body's asking for. Right away stepping into what your body's telling you, allowing your hips to sink towards the heels, the heart melts towards the floor, walking your hands to the top of the mat, really stretching out your spine already. Maybe your forehead can touch the floor. You can move it from left to right and massage your forehead or your third eye, the space in between your eyebrows. Right away, deepening and connecting to your breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Using this time to ground and center yourself, enjoying stillness or start rocking your hips from left to right, or finding any movement that is feeling good right now to really become present on your mat, in your practice, and in this moment. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, walking your hands over to the right, grounding into your left hip. Maybe you can clasp your left hand on top of the right and feeling a juicy side stretch already in your left rib cage. Keep breathing deeply here. Detaching yourself from your ego. On your next exhale, return back to center. Inhale to lengthen and exhale, finding the same thing on the other side. Walking your hands over to the left, grounding into your right hip. Reminder that I'm only offering you suggestions. You can always choose any other modifications or poses that you rather feel like. Exhale, return back to center. Inhale, one vertebra at a time, rolling upwards and forwards into your tabletop position. Making sure that your wrists are right below your shoulders, shoulder width apart, fingers are spread wide, and your knees are right below your hips, hip width apart. Inhale, shoulders back and down, dropping the belly towards the floor and raising the tailbone towards the sky. Maybe look up. Exhale, pushing through your hands, rounding your back, spreading your shoulder blades, and looking towards your navel. A couple more in your own time. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Moving as slowly and intentional as possible, and maybe inviting some intuitive movements. Closing down your eyes, maybe drawing circles or finding anything that feels good in your body right now. Maybe you want to draw some circles. Allow yourself right away to be playful and creative without judgment, stepping into all the feels and whatever your body wants. Really taking your time to wake up the entire body here. Coming into an upward facing dog. Moving onto one leg, stretching out the sides. Then coming on the other leg, stretching out the opposite side. Slowly returning back to center, shifting your weight onto your left hand. Inhale, raising the right hand up. Exhale, thread the needle. The right palm is facing up, maybe coming onto your right shoulder and the side of your head, pressing the top of the right hand into the floor, aiming to straighten out your hips. You can keep your left arm where it is, or you walk your fingertips to the top of your mat, maybe even to the top of the right side. You can also find a half bind where you aim to place your left hand on the inner side of your right thigh. Getting ready. Inhale, pressing yourself back up, raising your right hand once more. Exhale, return to center. Inhale, lifting your left hand. Exhale, thread the needle, finding your favorite variation of today. Getting ready. Inhale, pressing yourself back up, the left hand raises. Exhale, returning back to center. Now tilting out your left leg behind you, straightening out the right foot and stretching your right hand up and over, palm facing down, enjoying another deep side stretch. Looking up or down depending on what feels best. Maybe rocking from side to side, finding any movement or stillness. Returning back to center, and the same thing on the other side. Tilting out your right foot, extending the left leg. The foot is parallel to the bottom of your mat, and your left hand raises up and over, palm facing down, really extending into one long line. Exhale, return back to center. And then finding another quick child's pose. Fully listen to your body. Your ego is still not invited. Making yourself into a downward facing dog, right away start walking out your legs. Your hands are shoulder width apart, the fingers are spread wide, grounding your index finger and your thumb into the floor. Your shoulders are engaged, you're pressing the floor away from you, energetically pulling the tailbone up to the sky and the heels towards the floor, gazing in between your toes. Your feet are hip width apart, your knees can stay bent at any time. Gently waking up the hamstrings, maybe coming up onto your toes, lifting your heels, and then grounding your heels and lifting your toes. Or coming on one top of your toes and stretching out the legs in a different way. Now increasing the distance between your hands and feet. On your inhale, coming up onto your toes, slowly one vertebrae at a time, moving into your high plank, stacking your shoulders above your wrists, your core is engaged, your pelvis is slightly tucked, and on your exhale, bending the knees, pushing yourself back into your downward facing dog. Repeat this with your breath and move as fluidly and as slowly as you possibly could or as feels good. Maybe increasing those movements and coming to one upward facing dog or a modified version. And then pushing yourself back into your downward facing dog. Shifting your weight onto your left foot. Inhale, lift the right foot up, three-legged dog, and start opening up your groins. Maybe pushing your foot higher towards the sky a couple of times, or bending your leg at the knee, drawing circles, finding a scorpion variation, or inviting anything that your inner child wants to play with at this point. Coming into your scorpion, three-legged dog. Inhale, shifting forwards into your high plank, then slowly shifting over through a side plank, bringing the right foot behind you and coming into your first wild thing. Drawing a big circle with your right hand all the way up and over, maybe grabbing onto your right lower leg or placing your hand on your heart. Coming back through your side plank, option to play here. Maybe grabbing with your right hand on the right knee, really pushing through your left shoulder and engaging your left oblique, and then moving the right foot as slowly as you can towards the top of your mat, dropping the left knee to the floor and finding your low lunge. Inhale, clasping your hands behind you, engaging your core, tucking your pelvis slightly and back bending just a little bit, opening up the heart space and your hips at the same time. Inhale to explore whatever emotions and feelings are going on inside of your body, and exhale to release and maybe sink deeper into your hips. Aiming to keep your hips as square as possible. Then releasing the clasp with your hands. Exhale, shifting back into your half split. Maybe you want to invite some intuitive movement again, moving your hips from left to right or including a forward fold. Your hips are still square and above your left knee. Your right leg can stay bent. Just make sure to flex the right toes. Straightening out your back on your inhale. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale to come back into your low lunge, bringing your hands on the inside of your right leg, heel-toeing the right foot out to the outside of your mat. Toes are pointing a little further out than the heels. Option to come onto your forearms, finding your lizard lunge, and maybe inviting some movement again. You can come onto the left forearm or left hand and pushing with your right hand against the right thigh to open up your hips a little more. Or even bending the left foot, grabbing with your right hand on the left foot and finding a twisted lizard lunge. Making sure to open up the heart space to the side, maybe looking up, finding a deep groin and quad stretch. Additionally, to a gentle spinal twist. Gently release, coming back up if you came onto your forearms, lifting the left knee, and on your inhale, lifting the right hand up. Exhale, coming on both outsides of the feet and finding a twisted monkey pose. Inhale, come back up into your twisted high lunge. Exhale, twisting all over again, finding a nice stretch in your glutes and your sides of your legs. One more round in your own time. Bringing both hands back to the inside, finding your high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Catching your breath really quick, and then we'll repeat the same thing on the other side. If you need to pause and take a child's pose, feel free to do that. Your practice, your choice. Reconnecting with your breath. Inhale, lifting the left foot up, maybe pushing it up towards the sky a couple of times. Maybe just finding stillness. Exhale, bending the foot. Maybe start drawing some circles. Again, allowing yourself to be playful. Inhale, rebending your leg into a scorpion or stretching it out for a second. Then shifting forwards, exhale, left leg goes up and over, finding your wild thing on the other side. Really pushing through your right arm, opening the heart space. Slowly coming back through a side plank. Option again to be playful, engaging your right obliques this time. And then bringing your left foot to the top of your left mat, lowering your right knee to the floor, untucking the toes, aiming to keep your hips square, maybe moving from left to right and finding just a little bit of movement. And whenever you feel ready, inhale, hands up and over, clasping your hands the non-dominant way this time behind your back by your sacrum, shoulders back and down, engaging your core, slightly tucking your pelvis and opening up your heart. Inhale to explore, exhale to release and surrender. Maybe finding a little bit of movement here as well. Then releasing your hands, and on your exhale, pushing yourself back into your half split, including the movement if you did on the other side, maybe the forward fold, if that is what your body desires, flexing the front foot, Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to fold forwards. Finding stillness or small movements. Inhale to shift back forwards, bringing both hands on the inside of your leg and finding another lizard lunge. The left foot heel toes to the outside of the mat. The toes are pointed a little further outwards than the heels are. Option to come onto your forearms again, keeping your hips as square as possible. Maybe coming onto the right hand or forearm and using the left one to press your left leg out a little more to the side. Or bending into your right foot, grabbing with your left hand on the right foot and finding a twisted lizard. Looking up if it feels good. Opening your heart to the side. Slowly release, coming back up onto your hands, tucking the right knee, finding a high lizard lunge. And then on your inhale, lifting your left hand. Exhale, coming onto the outside edges of your feet again. Inhale back into your high lunge. Exhale to twist. Last round. Inhale, come up. Exhale, twist. Returning your hands to the top of your mat, transitioning through a high plank. Inhale to shift forwards. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, shoulders back and down, engaging your glutes. Exhale, shifting back into your downward facing dog. Catching your breath, maybe staying still for a moment, and then dropping your knees, finding another child's pose to reset your body. Reconnect with your breath. Checking in with yourself, how are you feeling? Inhale, slowly roll up into a seated position, shoulders back and down. Inhale, hands up and over. Exhale, hands to the sides of your hips. Maybe bringing your knees together if you had a wide child's pose like me. Grabbing onto your heels. And on your inhale, lift up into your camel. Your pelvis is tucked, your core is engaged. And you're opening up through your heart space. Keep breathing deeply here. Find a modification if needed, or finding a deeper variation if that's what you want to do today. Calm your breath down, and on your exhale, releasing everything. The head comes up last, bringing the crown of your head onto the floor, grabbing onto your heels and lifting your hips up, finding a rabbit. Maybe you want to shift your hips from left to right. And then on your inhale, coming back up into your camel. Maybe finding a deeper variation. Maybe you want to come into kapotasana. Please be safe and respect your current stage. Either way, taking your time, allowing yourself to be playful and respectful to your body. Keep breathing deeply, keeping your good form. Slowly coming back out of whichever variation you chose. Make sure that the head comes up last. Then grabbing again onto your feet, bringing the crown of your head on the floor, lifting your hips and finding another rabbit. Catching your breath. Maybe finding another child's pose as an additional counter stretch. Deep breaths here. Maybe you can already feel a difference in your body compared to when you started practice. On your next inhale, moving forwards one vertebrae at a time, melting down towards the floor, coming into an intuitive cobra, coming onto your fingertips, placing your fingers right next to the shoulders, elbows come up. And on your inhale, moving up like a wave into your cobra, shoulders back and down, letting your heart shine forwards, look forwards or up, deep inhale. And on your exhale, melt back down. A couple more in your own time. Optional to come into your king cobra, where you aim to bring your feet closer towards your head. Maybe walking your hands backwards to giving yourself some more space, finding a deep back bend, opening up through the entire front body. Exhale, pushing back into your child's pose as a quick counter stretch. Catching your breath. Optional to stay in your child's pose. Checking back in with yourself. Inhale, rolling back forwards, finding another king cobra, maybe a deeper variation this time. Keep breathing, keep your good form, engaging your glutes and your core. Exhale, slowly release, coming all the way onto your belly, finding a cactus shape with your right arm so that the right elbow is in one line with the shoulder and your hand is in a 90-degree angle, fingers are spread wide. Optional to come onto the right side of your body, pushing through your left fingertips, bringing the left leg behind you, bending it at the knee, and maybe placing the foot on the floor. Keep breathing in this intense shoulder stretch. Exhale to release. Cactus shape on the other side, and coming into the variation that you chose before, making sure that the left elbow is in one line with the left shoulder though, and the hands into as much of a 90-degree angle as possible. Exhale to return back to center. Inhale, pressing yourself up. Exhale, sliding the right hands, threading the needle, palm facing up, coming into another shoulder stretch. Optional to bring your left hand over to the right side, palm facing up as well. Maybe you can rest your chin on your upper arm. Breathing deeply. Inhale, releasing, coming back up. Exhale, threading your left arm through, coming into another shoulder stretch. Optional again to bring your right hand over, palm facing up, and melting your upper body to the floor. Aiming to keep your shoulders parallel to the mat. Inhale, release, press yourself up. Exhale to melt down onto the floor, stretching all four limbs away from you. Now bringing your hands back below the elbows. Inhale, shoulders back and down, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shortening the stance. Inhale to find your balance. Exhale, grabbing with your right hand on the outside of your left ankle, finding it with the downward facing dog. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, bringing the left hand on the outside of your right ankle this time. Inhale, return back to center, widening the stance again. Now bending into your knees, looking forwards, and hop forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Maybe finding a ragdoll where you grab on opposite elbows, swinging from side to side. Your feet are hip width apart, your knees can stay bent. Maybe shaking and nodding out your head to release any tension in your neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, rise up all the way, hands up and over. Exhale, returning your hands back to heart space. Maybe rearranging your brow really quick. Inhale, hands up and over, optional to include a gentle back bend. Exhale, fold all the way back forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, step, hop or jump back into your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, shoulders back and down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bending the knees, hopping forwards. Exhale, folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up into your mountain, hands up and over. Exhale, hands back to heart space. Now we're coming into another playful part. Bringing the weight onto your left foot, bending the right foot. Grabbing onto the right foot and finding the dancer of your choice. King dancer is optional. Taking your time to find your balance here and to play as much as you want, pushing the hands into the foot and the foot into the hands, leaning a little bit more forwards, keeping the elbows close to each other if possible. And on your exhale, release slowly and come into your full eagle, wrapping the right foot on top of the left, maybe around, and bringing the right arm below the left hand. Try to hold your balance here. It's completely fine if you fall out. Slowly release. Now bringing the weight onto your right foot, bending the left leg, and finding your dancer of your choice. Pressing the hands into the foot and the other way around, lifting up through the heart space. On your exhale, try to slowly release, wrapping the left foot up and around the right, and placing the left arm below the right and wrapping around here too, finding your balance, continuing with your practice without judgment, allowing yourself to be playful, creative, and to make mistakes. Then releasing, finding a wide-legged forward fold, maybe finding some movement. The toes are pointing a little more inwards than the heels are. Really counter-stretching the deep back bend that we just played with. Optional to stay here, or if you want to come into another round, coming back up, bringing the weight onto your left foot. Bending your right leg and finding the dancer pose of your choice. Maybe enjoying a different variation this time, or playing with the same one as before. Priority here though is to keep good form and have fun. On your exhale, slowly release, coming back into the eagle of your choice, wrapping the right leg up and over the left, and the right arm below the left arm. Releasing, bringing the weight into the right foot, bending the left one, finding the dancer pose of your choice on this side as well. Knowing that one side is usually more flexible, stronger, or more balanced than the other one, and that is completely fine. Please enjoy the time on your practice without judgment as much as you can. Slowly releasing, maybe falling again back out just like me, finding your full eagle on the other side, wrapping your left leg around the right and the left arm below the right one, maybe finding your full eagle or any variation that you're choosing today, maybe sinking a little more into the hips, and then releasing and finding another forward fold. Maybe bringing your feet even further apart than before, toes are pointing slightly inwards. Maybe you can come onto your forearms, enjoying this deep stretch in the hamstrings, maybe aiming to keep your back straight. If you want to invite some playful time here as well, feel free to do that. I really wanted to walk my hands between my legs and finding a deeper stretch, but you can choose something completely else. You can also just grab onto your ankles and pulling your upper body closer to your legs. Optional to play with your first arm balance here, I chose firefly, bringing both knees onto the shoulders, leaning a little backwards, lifting your feet up, engaging your core, pushing through your hands. And then slowly release when you're done playing. We will do all these twice, so take as much time as needed. I chose another forward fold because it felt good in between. And then bringing your hands back through your feet, wiggling around so that your knees are on the highest possible point by your shoulders. Leaning backwards, grabbing the floor with your fingertips, lifting one leg at a time, engaging your core, lifting everything up. And then slowly releasing. Great job. I started rolling up my wrists a little bit because it is a lot on the wrists, so choose whatever feels good. And a reminder to always listen to your body. Maybe enjoying another forward fold, and optional for the next arm balance is crow pose, grabbing the floor with the fingers, bringing your knees as high as possible to the armpits, and then lifting one foot at a time. You don't even have to lift both, just to get a feeling for it. Leaning forwards, looking really far in front of you. And then exhale, releasing into your malasana, bringing your feet mat width apart, toes are pointing outwards, shoulders back and down, bringing your elbows against the knees to open up the hips a little more, straightening your back, maybe finding some movement from left to right, and whenever you're ready, optional to come into another crow pose. Again, you can choose any other pose that you want to play with today. These were just my top choices for my birthday. Getting ready, finding your balance in any of the arm balances that you chose, allowing yourself to take your time to find the balance, to fall out and to play with it. I came back into a malasana after my second crow just because it felt really good. Then you can drop back, come onto your glorious boots, and then let's play with compass pose. Bending your left leg, bringing the right leg up and over, carrying it like a backpack, maybe finding some movement from left to right. And then whenever you're ready, grabbing with the left hand on the outside of your right ankle and placing your right hands next to you on the floor, opening up your chest and aiming to straighten out your leg. Maybe you can look to the left and open up your heart a little more. And then on your next exhale, releasing, finding your firelog pose. Placing the right foot on top of the left leg, aiming to bring the feet closer to the opposite knees, and optional to fold forwards, finding a deep hip stretch. And then coming back up, optional to straighten out your legs for the second time. We're playing with compass or choosing any other pose. Carrying your right leg like a backpack, grabbing with your left hand on the right ankle, placing your right hand on the right side of your body. Or maybe lifting it up, playing with your balance here. And then releasing, coming into another firelog pose of your choice, maybe including some movement or stillness. And now we're going to exchange legs, so bending the right leg, bringing the left leg over your left shoulder, carrying it like a backpack. Grabbing with your right hand on the outside of the left foot, placing your left hand on the floor next to you, and then straightening your left leg, opening up your body to the right side. Maybe you can look over to the right, respecting your current stage. And then slowly release, always moving mindfully, coming back into your firelog with the left leg on top of the right, maybe choosing another forward fold. Coming back up, optional again to straighten your right leg, bringing your left leg again over the shoulder, grabbing onto the outside of your left foot, extending your left hand to the side, straightening your right foot, maybe even grabbing with both hands onto the leg. And then slowly release back into your firelog. Very well done. Maybe finding some more movements or another forward fold. And now coming back up, optional to find a child's pose. Or if you want to play with a headstand, coming up into your headstand, making sure your elbows are shoulder width apart, clasping your hands and placing the top of your head onto the floor, bringing your hips above your shoulders, and then maybe lifting up. Allowing yourself some time to play upside down. My favorite is currently finding an eagle-legged variation. Reminder to repeat it on both sides because we always want to keep the balance in the body. No matter what you do, be safe and have fun. Carefully coming back out. Maybe finding a quick forward fold, wide-legged stretch, or anything of your choice. And then if you want to come back into a headstand, allowing yourself to play upside down a little longer, maybe finding any other playful movement, maybe lifting up into a pike headstand, bending your knees, just being creative. Now releasing, finding a quick child's pose, flipping the palms up to release some tension in the shoulders. Maybe moving from left to right. And then slowly rolling back up into your seat, shoulders back and down, maybe rolling them out for a moment. catching your breath once more. And now you can choose any other playful arm balance that you want. I chose pincha. You can always use a wall here and hop against the wall, or using any props that you are currently enjoying in your practice. Allowing yourself to fall out and lose balance, and just grow in your practice with every time. You're doing really great. You will have a lot of time in your arm balance play today, so definitely enjoy that or take rest if needed. And maybe you also fall out a couple of times like me, which is completely fine and part of our journey, right? Maybe also coming twice into each arm balance here just to play a little more. Maybe coming into a quick shoulder stretch. Shoulders back and down, clasping your hands behind you, maybe looking up, or inviting anything that feels good. You can now come into any other arm balance, maybe handstand. I cannot do handstand yet, so I just kept playing with my pincha. If you're working with backbends, maybe rolling onto your back, grabbing onto your knees, giving your lower back a massage and catching your breath again. And just enjoying where you are at today. Maybe giving yourself a loving big squeeze here, and then rolling up, hopping back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, return back down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, maybe sliding through into your split. Making sure that your hips stay as square as possible. Flexing or pointing the front leg. Maybe including a forward fold and some movement or stillness. Now coming into a wide-legged forward fold, flexing both feet, maybe finding some more movements. Or starting to lean forwards, finding and enjoying your variation without judgment, maybe coming onto your forearms or leaning all the way forwards. Slowly coming back up. And now moving over, finding your split with the right leg in front, maybe finding some movement. Making sure that the legs are in one line with the hips and that you square the hips out. Optional to find another forward fold here. Now slowly coming back up, transitioning back into your wide-legged seat. Inhale, raising both hands up. Exhale, bending over, finding a nice side stretch. Optional to grab with your left hand on the outside of your right foot. Inhale, returning back to center. Exhale, finding a side stretch on the right side. Optional again to grab with your right hand on the outside of the left foot. Keep your hips grounded. Inhale, release. And then on your exhale, coming back into your split on the left. Here you can now play with the back bends, maybe bending the right leg and finding your king split, staying respectful to your body. Maybe you want to try to play with bringing your right foot onto your base of your head. Now bringing the right foot to the top of the mat and circling the left one back, finding your split with your right leg forwards. Maybe again including the back bend or your king split, bending the left knee, grabbing with your left hand on your left foot, and maybe you can bring it towards your head. If your quads are open today, like mine were, maybe bringing the toes of your left foot on the base of your head. And maybe you can even try to release your hand, finding a funky monkey pose. Gently release, bringing the left foot back forwards, maybe sitting up a little nicer, and enjoying an L seat, maybe even including another forward fold. I really enjoy rocking from left to right, so if that resonates with you today, maybe play with it. You could clasp your hands in front of your feet, deepening your forward fold, or use blocks. Now finding your pigeon on the left, making sure that your left knee is in one line with the left hip and your right leg is straight in one line with the right hip. Your left ankle is either close to your hips or maybe towards parallel of the front of your mat. Maybe playing with back bends and forwards folds here as well. Finding stillness or a little bit of movement. Enjoying the deep glute stretch on your left. Optional to find an Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, which is your king pigeon. Keep breathing deeply here. Slowly releasing wherever you are, coming through your low lunge. Now extending both legs, finding a gentle triangle pose. Maybe twist open, lifting the left hand. Coming through a yummy forward fold. Finding your triangle pose now on the right, maybe including some movement. Maybe lifting the right hand up and finding a twisted triangle pose for another gentle twist. And then finding your pigeon on the right. Aiming to keep your hips square, your right knee in one line with the right hip, your left leg straight out back. Again, allowing yourself to play here with back bends or forward folds, or just enjoying your pigeon. Wherever you are, keep breathing, do not hold your breath. And just enjoying your playful practice. Optional again to invite another king pigeon into your practice, bending your left leg, bringing your left hand on the left foot, and maybe bringing your foot towards your head. Maybe you want to include a smile here. And then slowly moving your left leg around, bringing the soles of your feet together, rolling onto your back, tucking your pelvis so that your lower back is more on the floor. Finding your reclined butterfly, maybe resting your hands on your inner thighs, or placing one on your heart and the other one on your belly. If it feels good, you can close your eyes here. Bringing your knees together, feet are hip width apart, your fingers are close to touching your heels, and on your inhale, rolling up into your bridge like a wave, and exhale, gently release one vertebrae at a time. Inhale, roll up, exhale, roll down. One more. And now coming into your full bridge or pressing up into your wheel pose. Maybe you can straighten through your legs, making sure that your elbows are rotating internally. Allowing yourself to play in your wheel. Maybe bringing one foot to your head. And then the other. Maybe coming onto your toes and finding an alien where you sit back down like in a chair. Maybe you want to bring one leg up. Maybe straighten it. And then finding the same play on the other side. Keep pressing through your hands. Maybe you can lift up one hand if you really want to play today. And then tucking your chin towards your chest and slowly releasing back to the floor. Bringing your knees to your chest, enjoying another back massage, finding your breath. Now you can find any other pose, or if you want to come into a figure four, flexing the left foot and placing it on top of the right knee. You can bring your right knee in, clasping your hands either below your knee or on your thigh somewhere. Your left elbow is pressing against the left thigh to open up the hips a little more. Now coming through a happy baby pose, grabbing on the outside edges of your feet, your arms are on the insides of the knees, extending your sacrum to the floor, maybe finding some movement, pulling your feet closer to your armpits while you push the feet away. And then finding a figure four on the other side, making sure you're keeping your right foot flexed, pressing with your right elbow against the right thigh, clasping your hands wherever you did before. I chose on my lower leg. Maybe finding some movement. Optional to come through another happy baby pose. Maybe this time straightening one leg at a time. And then maybe both. Really deeply opening up your hips one more time. Then coming back into a loving self-hug. Maybe rocking from left to right. And then extending your legs up to the sky. Maybe including your hands as well. Feel free to roll out your wrists and your ankles. Option here to come into a plow pose of your choice, placing your hands either on your lower back or clasping your hands and resting them on the mat. You can extend your legs above you so that your toes touch the floor above your head. Or you can also bend your knees, finding a deaf man's pose, allowing yourself some more time to play here. And then keeping your legs straight and as slowly as you can, coming out of your plow pose. And lowering your feet all the way down to the floor. Great job! Allow yourself now to take up as much space as your body allows in your Shavasana. Your palms are facing up, your feet are splaying out. You can close your eyes again and allow yourself to melt into your mat. Releasing any tension you might be holding onto at this point. Inhaling to fill up your entire being with love, and exhale, releasing everything that is not. Inhaling love, exhaling, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Enjoying a gentle body scan, relaxing your toes, your feet and your heels, your ankles, your lower legs, your knees, relaxing your thighs, your groins, your hips and your pelvis, relaxing your bottom, your lower belly and lower back, your beautiful stomach and strong back, your heart space, your upper back, your collarbones, your shoulder blades, relaxing your upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, relaxing your wrists, your palms, your fingers, all the way up into the fingertips. Relaxing your neck and your throat, your jaw, your lips, maybe your mouth falls open. Relaxing your tongue, your cheeks, your cheekbones. Imagine to relax the ears and the nose, your eyes, behind your eyes. Relaxing your eyebrows and your third eye, the space in between your eyebrows. Relaxing your forehead all the way up into the crown of your head. Fully surrendering your Shavasana and your practice. Maybe finding a sense of gratitude for showing up for yourself today, for practicing, sweating, and playing on your mat, for taking this time for yourself to be creative and playful and expanding through your body, mind, and soul. You can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you want, or starting to move your fingers, your wrists, your toes, and your ankles, gently waking your body back up, maybe rolling your head from left to right. And whenever you're ready, extending all four limbs away from you, and for one deep breath, making yourself as long as you possibly could. Then bending in one knee at a time, giving yourself a love-filled self-hug, maybe kissing your kneecaps, really giving yourself a well-deserved squeeze. And then extending one arm, rolling onto your favorite side, finding your fetal pose. Hopefully you feel like a newborn, refreshed, ready for your day and your life, like a baby that just woke up from a nap. Maybe telling yourself thank you, I love you. Keeping your eyes closed, And now, as lazy as you can, coming into a comfortable seated position of your choice with your eyes closed, shoulders back and down, lengthening your spine. Maybe placing your hands on your heart for a little more introspective perspective. Deep inhale and let it go. Enjoying one more super deep and loving breath, or maybe a couple more. Whenever you feel ready, inhale, hands over your head, palms touch, maybe look up. Exhale, bring the thumbs to your third eye. May you have thoughts of wisdom and clarity. Bringing your thumbs to your lips, may you speak words of kindness and truth. And bringing your thumbs to your heart space, may you feel and give the love that you truly deserve. The love and light in me sees and honors the love and light in you. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through today's practice. Namaste.